Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are taking a look at a bit of an older figure from Safari Ltd, but it's always been one of my favorite Safari Ltd figures ever since its release. This is their Monolophosaurus. It's a very cool species that I absolutely love just because of the very unique look of this theropod, but this figure specifically released by Safari Ltd was such a beautiful version of it that I instantly fell in love with this figure, and considering how many incredible figures Safari Ltd has released over the years when it comes to just the regular Safari Ltd line and the Carnegie Collection line, it speaks volumes in my opinion for how good this figure truly is when it can rise to the top in my list of favorites from that company. So it really is fantastic in my opinion overall, a really beautiful figure, and I want to show you guys that right now with a closer look. So starting up here at the head sculpt, of course you can see that very cool, very unique appearance to the head of the Monolophosaurus, that very trademark skull shape of the dinosaur, but you can also take note to the beautiful scaling all over the head sculpt of this dinosaur. It is really nicely sculpted as far as the overall detailing goes. I would really love to get a hold of another one of these at some point and just repaint it, but unfortunately I only have one, and that's this one right here. Like I said, it's one of my favorite Safari Ltd figures, so I would never alter what we have here with this. I like to keep it original, but I would love to again repaint one just because the sculpt is honestly incredible on this figure. You can see how good of a job Safari Ltd did overall on the fine detailing. So many varying sizes of scales all over the face. Even the detailing around the eye is really nice. You can see this eye is a little bit sloppy as far as the paint goes, but this eye over here looks quite a bit better. You can definitely see it looks quite nice. Nice gloss coat on the eye as well. Might be a little dusty as he's been sitting in storage for a little while, and I just recently got him out to take a look at him with you guys because of how much I absolutely love the figure. But you can see even the lower jaw looks really good as far as the scale work goes. The teeth look pretty good, but since they're so close in the coloration to the lower jaw, they're kind of hard to actually make out and see how nice they actually look, but they really do look great, and they are very nicely sculpted. They're a little bit sloppy as far as the paint goes, but I don't think it's bad at all, not enough that takes away from the figure. You can also see that that skin flap on the inside of the mouth sports some really nice detailing. You've got the nice tongue in there inside the mouth, as well as the skin flap over here. It's a very nice realistic, kind of like a light flesh tone type of a color in the mouth. Really beautiful for sure. You've also got the nostrils sculpted out up here, and they are highlighted with a darkish coloration within to kind of make the nostrils jump out at you, help you take notice of that area. As we start to lead back here into the neck, you can see quite a bit of wrinkling of the skin because the dinosaur has its head turned to the right, so it would be bunching the skin up quite nicely over here. You can also see a little bit of kind of hanging skin there in the throat. You more so see the skin kind of stretching on this side as opposed to wrinkling, and again that is due to the dinosaur having its head turned to the right, so that's exactly what would be occurring in the skin of the neck right there. Beautifully shown throughout the sculpt of this dinosaur. As we get back here into the body, you can see the shoulder blade protruding from the skin there. Really nice scaling as we move down the arms, down into the hands. The hand sculpt looks really good. Nicely painted nails with a black, and they are glossed quite realistically, so they shine like real nails would. Same deal with the nails here on the feet. Moving back here into the body, again, look at that scaling. That scaling is just fantastic, absolutely beautiful. Lots of really nice skin wrinkling and skin creasing back here in the stomach as this leg pushes into the body as well. And you can also kind of see some skin bunching up right there as the arm is kind of in a nice neutral position. Both arms are around the same spot, but it's pushing into the body a little bit there, ever so slightly, pushing and bunching the skin up, which they did show in the sculpt as well. You can also see some nice ridges that run down along the spinal column of the animal, some nice osteoderms or scutes, however you want to term them. You've also got the hip bone nicely sculpted out right there. As we move down into the thigh, you can really beautifully see some nice muscle definition, but again, that wonderful scaling looks great all over this dinosaur. You've got quite a bit of movement shown in the skin detail of the thigh, as well as the leg is bending right here at the joint of the knee, of course causing movement here in the thigh as far as the skin goes. Nice calf muscles as well. As we move down into the foot sculpt, the foot sculpt has that beautiful scoot-like appearance down the toes and looks extremely nice. nice dew claws back here, but the dew claws actually are not painted, which is fairly shocking, not something that you normally see Safari Ltd skip out on. As we move back up into the tail, you can see that really nice skin texture, again, the beautiful scaling. As we move out the length of the tail does kind of have like a wavy appearance as it bends and curves ever so nicely. Really beautiful, very natural looking curves to the tail, and you can see that the paint application is all really nicely done as well. Very dark look to this dinosaur with many different variations of browns included, like these nice light browns, and then you've got these very dark browns all over the body, and they transition back and forth really nicely, showing some beautiful skin tone. You've also got like a reddish brown up here on the face as well to help give it a little bit of a striking look. On this side, we did take a look at the neck and then the head, so once we move down into the body, again, the arm is pretty much in the same position as the opposing arm. It's a very neutral position. Nice shoulder blade sculpted out right there. Similar to the other side, we could see quite a bit of movement here, kind of the skin bunching up with the arm right there, but due to this leg being further back than what we see on the other side, now we see the skin stretching in the stomach more so than bunching up. So that's a very nice dose of realism on the sculpt, really beautifully done. Wonderful scaling again over here, just like we saw on the opposing side. Beautiful hip bone up here. Again, those ridges that run along the spinal column look great, and then the nice musculature of the thigh and calf area. Nice wrinkling again here in the joint of the knee. Beautiful foot sculpt once again. Really nice color variation down there with a few different shades of brown, and then the nicely painted nails. And then coming back up here into the tail, as we lead out the tail, you can see a few creases of skin right here, kind of showing the way that the thigh is moving here on the body, and then we run out the length of the tail with that fantastic scaling and the beautiful curves once again. Even the underside, which sports this very nice light coloration, looks great. Very highly sculpted in every aspect of this Monolophosaurus. Again, this is a fantastic figure, and if you don't have it with this up-close look, hopefully you'll now see why it's one of my favorites from Safari Ltd. So as far as the size goes on the Monolophosaurus, I just knocked him over. It's not a very large Safari Ltd figure, that's for sure. So from the head to the tail, you're looking at roughly around 8 inches or about 20 centimeters, somewhere in that range. And then as far as a height goes, and I knocked him over again, I'm really bad at this. As far as a height goes, you're looking at about 3¼ inches or around 8½ centimeters, somewhere around that range. For a size comparison, here is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Dilophosaurus, and Robert Muldoon next to our Safari Ltd Monolophosaurus. And next to these figures, you should definitely be able to tell that the Monolophosaurus, like I had stated earlier, is not a large figure. It's a pretty small figure, especially as far as a Safari Ltd one goes. It's not as small as their newer figures like the Concavinator or Dilophosaurus, but it still isn't that large. But honestly, I think it is perfect in every way. I love everything about it, from the size to the sculpt to the paint. So personally, I think it is a great size. So this Safari Ltd Monolophosaurus is fantastic, if you ask me. Not everyone may share that opinion, but personally, I think it is beautiful. The sculpt is ridiculously nice, so wonderfully sculpted. Of course, showing the movement like you always expect from Safari Ltd. They never seem to skip a beat when it comes to including every ounce of detail you would expect to find on the dinosaur and the position that it's in. But the scaling all over this dinosaur is just breathtaking. They really went the extra mile as far as the scale work goes on this Monolophosaurus, and I think it shines through wonderfully all over the place. In every area that I look on this Monolophosaurus, the scale work is just as top-notch as I think you'll ever find. The sculpt overall is really nice as far as the pose of the dinosaur. It's nothing crazy, nothing special. He just kind of appears to be standing there, just looking around, maybe letting out some sort of a noise or calling out to another member of his family. Who knows exactly, but it's nothing off the wall, dynamic, crazy, anything like that. It's a nice, just kind of a standing pose, and I really do quite like it. It definitely looks really good overall. The paint application, again, may not be something that everyone likes, because I know a lot of people like to have their dinosaurs look a little flashier and have kind of a crazy design, but personally, I feel like the paint on this is fantastic and so wonderfully done. Such really nice dark tones of color, which would be perfect for this dinosaur to hide in the brush and ambush prey. Definitely something that I feel like is a really natural, realistic choice as far as what this dinosaur potentially could have been, and also allowing a little tiny bit of flashiness up there in the face area with like a reddish brown, just to kind of give it that little extra bit of flashiness. And the way they've applied the paint is fantastic, very, very realistic for sure. Many different color tones all over the body, and really naturally applied. It really does look like the body color of this Monolophosaurus. So if you do want this figure, I will put a link down in the description for you to go ahead and pick one up for yourself. Roughly, I think they're usually around the $10 range, so I will definitely include a link in the description for you to pick this up, because as I said, it is a very high recommendation from me and a wonderful Monolophosaurus figure from Safari Ltd. So check the description, make sure you buy this fantastic Safari Ltd Monolophosaurus, but before you do that, also make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.